Tonight, we're going over the lowest C drag slash. What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a first look at the Traxxas drag slash. So I'll pick this up. Traxxas just finished having a sale on their drag slashes here in Canada for $400, which is a pretty good deal. Not as good as the deal that you guys got in the States, but next year I plan on running the boxstock class along with 13.5 and the Outlaw, so figured I'd pick up one of these bad boys here, and we'll quickly go through it and see what we need to do before we take her out for do some testing. Let's get the lid off of her. So, when I was first looking at it, I noticed right off the bat that there's either no oil or a lot of oil in one of the front shocks here. So if you look down, just push it down and lift up, you'll notice that the right shock is coming down a lot later than the left shock. So what that's going to cause is when the car is going down the road and the one wheel is hit the ground first, it's going to cause the car to want to go to the left, to the right. So first thing I want to do is take off the front shocks and see what's going on with that and get that rectified. First things first, I'm gonna look up, find out what shock oil they recommend in it out of the box, so we can do some testing and then go from there whether or not we want to go with different shock oils and see if we can help improve the performance of the car in the box stock class. Alright, after searching around on the forums, it looks like possibly 30 weight is what they're saying, but I don't have anything that low, so we're going to go with some 60 weight oil all around, and we'll see how that tests out. So let's get these shocks off and see what's going on. Alright, so we got both shocks off, and when I squeeze them together, let's see if this will work here for me. Yeah, you notice that one shock comes out way faster than the other. And then the other thing you notice is the shock lengths are different. So let's see if we pull them. Yeah, there we go. Pull up, and now they're the same length. So we'll have to take a look at that, make sure nothing's binding when we put this back together again. That one seems to be pretty good. Goes all the way out. That one's a lot harder to push in, and as you can see, it doesn't want to come out all the way. So it could be just because maybe no shock oil in it, but we'll get the springs pulled off and we'll take a look. Get a cloth for dumping the oil into so we don't make a mess out of the table. This one's full too, so why is it so hard to push? Maybe there's just no oil inside the rubber O-rings there, but we'll make sure that's all nice and good before it goes back together again, because we want nice, smooth in and out motion of these shocks. You don't want anything binding up. Alright, let's get some 60 weight put in there and see how they feel. So you want to make sure you bleed all the air out of these. these shocks. I got a little stand I can use for holding shocks in place. Well, we let them bleed a little bit longer. Move on to the next one. This one here, push in, extends all the way back out, so we know this one's good. Feels nice. Now repeat the process with this one. Right, much better. Alright, let's get these back installed on the vehicle and we will see how the compression goes on both sides. Alright, so both shocks are now installed. Now with 60-weight oil, let's see how she does on compression. Alright, that looks a whole lot better now. So next what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the rear differential. We're going to remove that and then we're going to add some fresh 500k weight oil to the rear diff. And then she should be ready to go out and do some testing. Alright, so off camera I ended up getting the rear shocks all rebuilt and I also got the rear diff done. So that's that. That should be ready to go now for racing. And depending on where you are and what rules for the box stock, it's basically out of the box. The only things you can do to it is shock oils. Some places is weight distribution and ride height. Depending on where you are, you have to use the factory plug. So what I ended up doing was just getting a adapter fitting. And what I'll be using is the Adventure Series 5000 milliamp 100C battery. A couple of the rules that I've seen in different places, that's the limit for battery size that you can use. But that all depends on where you're at. So I'll be starting with this, and depending on where I go, I'll have to double check with the rules and go from there. Because if I can change the wheels, I can. So these are the factory tires that came with the drag slash. But Traxxas also offers a sticky compound tire option. So I got it in the pre-mounted, and the part number is right here for you guys. So this is, yeah, tire option for you if you're allowed to use it, but you want to stay with the Traxxas brand. I'll test these out too on top of these other tires, and that'll be for a different video. But next is hit the street and see what we can do with the stock pinion before we switch it out to the 29 tooth that is provided in the box, and from there I'll go all the way up to 36, 37. I also picked up assortment of different size spur gears, so we'll play around with those too if needed. But for now, we're just going to leave the 76 that's in there and just play around with pinion sizes. I know this video is dragging out a little bit, but the most important thing I want you guys to take away from this is anytime you pick up a ready-to-run vehicle, make sure you tear it apart, go through it. You never know what you're going to find. Like I was showing you at the beginning of the video, one shock moves, one doesn't, and it'll just cause a whole bunch of other problems for you down the road. So it's always good to get to know your vehicle, start from the front, work your way back, get everything sorted out, rectify any kind of issues that you have with the car. So when you do finally take it outside, it'll perform a lot better than what it would have, because some of the quality control is subpar at best. Doesn't matter what manufacturer it is, if it's Team Associated, Low C, Traxxas, they all seem to have the same issues. So just make sure you go over it, and you'll thank me later. But for now, I'm going to let you guys go, and we'll see you on the flip side. Peace.